Right. So today what we're going to go through will be all on the accounting module, which means will be under GL, AR, and AP. So we're not involved stock, sales, purchase, those things, right? So if you have any question or any issue, you can just raise up, or you may type in the chat, so I will reply you after that. Right. So for the first thing, normally before we start to doing our accounting, the first thing we make sure will be need to ensure our child account is already done the setting and set up all the things. So first thing we need to go under is to the GL account maintenance. Right. So here will be you will have some account which is already created by the system. It's a default account created by the system for you. So you may change or edit the account description here if you want, or you can add in your own account. So basically here will be your child account. Okay. So as you can see, the normally system will already differentiate by different category. Right. I believe all of you may know what is it. Okay. So to create an account, first thing you need to know for account type there's a normal account and special account. So as you can see here, there's some account is highlighted in blue color and some is without any color on it. So the one without any color will be normal account. So the one with the highlighted in blue color, we will call it as a special account. Normally special account will have some linking or some special function in the system. While the normal account normally will be used to debit and credit when you're doing your transaction entry. Right? So first thing, to create your normal account, you need to press the button here, new normal account. So before that, you need to make sure you need to decide for the normal account you need to create under which category. So you need to highlight on it. You can highlight on the category, or let's say this one you need to make it as a parent account. You can highlight on it, right? So let's say I'm create some normal account for expenses. I can choose here normal account. So it will show you the parent account is the account that you already select. Okay, so from under expenses you can create multiple accounts at the same time. So you don't need to create one, then you need to close it and open again. If you have multiple accounts going to create, you can show it all under here. So let's say for expenses, we will start with 9. So as you can see here, it already worked until 915. So for the account number, you can key in any format you want, but as long as you need to make sure it does not exist in the system yet. So let's say 915, I can create a new one by using 916, or you can have 915 001 is okay, right? Depends on how you're going to present your report after this. So you can have other expenses. Then you need to add in another, you can just press. So you have more and more, you can just add in. Like so you can see. Right, so you create for you straight away. All right, this is for normal account. So for the others category, you can just do the same thing like sales. You can just create. Or under sales, if you have any account that's not have the balance, right, you can make it as a parent's account. Right? So, but for this already, if you already have a balance amount there, so you can't create a sub account under it anymore. Okay. So for special account, there's a few types. The first thing will be quick access. Okay. So for quick access, each time that you create, it will ask you to set up two account number. So you can refer to here. Say 2002000. So for new one, you can create as a 206000. You can create as a, say, other quick access. So for the accumulate depreciation account, it will automatically clean the description for you by adding in the shortcut. So it means if you want to show it as the full wording, you can edit it and change it by yourself, right? So the account number here normally will be the same by adding in 5 at the end. Okay. So you see, let's say it's under here, it's not under the access, you can just drag it and put it here by doing the grouping. Okay. So another thing for special account will be your bank cash deposit. So from here, you can create bank account, cash account, or deposit account. Bank and cash, you may use it when you're doing receipt payment or you make payment to your supplier. And for deposit, right, it will only can be used when you're doing AR deposit or AP deposit. For deposit account, it will not, it will work as a contra account. So when you're doing deposit, it will debit into the you do debit to the bank, then credit into the deposit account. It will not direct credit to your debtor account yet, right? After that, after when you use up the deposit to knock off your bill, then it will credit out on the deposit and debit to your debtor or creditor account. So it will work as a contra account. So to create it, you can just select the type, let's say bank account. So make sure the number cannot duplicate, so you can put in 210 or any others number. Right, so CMB. So you can put it PVB. And you can decide whether you need to put in the bank account number here or just remain PVB. Right. So normally the description will be captured as a payment method. Normally when you're doing payment, AR payment, regardless AR payment or AP payment, you will need to choose your payment method instead of direct choosing the account number. So this is the name rapid to let you know it point to which account. Right, you can, the account description and the payment method can be different, or you need to remain it as the same, depends on you. Okay, you can see. So if you want to prove it, it's something you can drag it and put under there. Okay, this is for the bank. So for the cash, it's the same thing, but for deposit, right, you will put it under current liability instead of current assets. Not same as the bank and cash. Yeah. So as you can see, the deposit account that you created, it will under current liability. So it will something like this. For deposit, you can decide whether you create one deposit account for customer and your supplier, or you need to separate out. Okay, so for deposit account, you will have their own payment method as well. So when the time you're doing, let's say this one is for supplier deposit, when the time you're doing deposit for your debtor or customer, you need to make sure you didn't choose the wrong method. You need to make sure you use the customer deposit. Otherwise, the balance or the figure will be mixed up. Okay. So for debtor and creditor control, it will be used when the time you create your debtor or creditor, you have a column for you to choose the control account. So for the control account, you can create under here. By default, system already create one for track debtor and another one for track creditor. So as you can see, for other debtor or other creditor, system will create as a normal account. So it cannot be choose when you creating your debtor. So if you want to have another control account for your creditor or debtor, you need to create here. Let's say this one is a normal account, but I need to change it as a control account. I can remove it by using the button here, delete account. Then I can creditor control by using the same number, other creditors. Okay, so when the time when I'm creating my creditor, I can choose whether I need to put it under track creditor or other creditor. Okay, so for stock, the stock account will be used when you doing your stock value maintenance. Stock value maintenance normally will be used to key in your closing balance by monthly, then it will post to your financial report. So here will be the account that you're going to use to put in the account and show it in your debtor balance, sorry, in your balance sheet or P&L. Right. So for stock account, it will be a link. So you need to create 3 accounts here. One is open stock, closing stock, and balance stock. So for open and closing, it will plug under cost of goods sold. So the account number should be here, 6. Start with 6. Right. So if your stock it doesn't have for your stock, if you did not separate out by different category, you can using one stock account, that should be enough. But let's say if you have like hardware, software, or any other stock type, you need to separate out. You need to create the inventory account as well. Right, let's say use 0, 0, 0. For example. So here I can use the same number, but so the balance stock will be under current assets, so the account number should start with 3 number. Right. So once you maintain this kind of stock account in here, so when you go to the stock value, you can choose it. Right. This is for the stock. So retained earning normally you no need to create because the system will create for you. So when you press it, it will tell you it's already there. Unless you start the account book with the empty child account, so you need to create your file yourself. Right, that's all for special account. So other things function here, you can edit the account, but the account number cannot be changed. You only can change the description, currency code, other things. The account number you need to change it under tools, change code here, change the account number. So from here, edit is only can change the description, right? Then you can have delete account. So only the account without any transaction, which means you haven't started keying any transaction for the account yet, then you only can be deleted. Let's say for those like you already have a balance here, when you're trying to delete, system will tell you that you already have contains transaction. So you need to delete all the transactions first before you delete the account. So refresh, which means if you change anything, you need to update, you can refresh it. Okay. and close, which means you will close it. So clean chart account, which means you can print out what you have created just for review. You can have an overview on it. See what's the account that's been created in your system. Right? For this, you may export to PDF or Excel. Okay. So this is all for under account maintenance. So far, any question here before I move to the next one? Okay, no question. Right. So once you're done setting up your account maintenance, the next thing you need to do, your company is start from a few years ago. So the next thing you need to do, you will need to maintain your opening balance, that the pro forma figure for all the account here, and also your debtor, creditor, and your stock. Right? To do that, you need to make sure you need to go under tools, manage fiscal year. Make sure that you already have created a previous year before your current year. This will be used if you're doing the outstanding figure for your debtor and creditor. Without this, you're not able to create the entry. Right? Okay, so to set up the opening balance for all this account is under GL, opening balance maintenance. So by right, you will come to the screen here. So if you list out all the account that you need, you can, if you list out all the account here, except for the sales and expenses, right? So here will be just easy. You need to key in the balance, the profile figure by just key in whether it's debit or credit. Okay. So you can just straight away edit. If it's a negative figure, then you put it under credit. If it's a positive, then you just put in at the debit side. Right. The home debit and home credit is will only appear when you're using multi-currency. Okay. So here you can maintain all the opening balance for the account. In the end, you need to make sure the account is balanced. Otherwise, it will be showing here, which means it's not correct. So for the debtor and creditor, right, you cannot be maintained here. Right, you can't key in anything here because the opening for debtor and creditor it will capture from your AR and AP invoice. Okay, so once you're done setting up the openings for the other account, you can just save and close it. So for the opening for debtor and creditor, you need to create under AR invoice or AP invoice. So from here, you press the new. You choose the debtor. So the date you need to put it before your current year start date. Start from January 2021, so I can put it as a 31st December 2022. So we're showing here past invoice, and here you can't key in the account number. You can only key in the description. Normally we will just key in balance of the work and what's the total figure. Let's say 5,000. So same for your creditor example here. Let's see. So when I save and I go back to my opening balance maintenance and I refresh, you can see something change here when I go into it. So the 5,000 is already added in, and also the 2,500 will show here, right? So if your debtor is in a positive outstanding, you create as AR invoice. Else, if it is having advance payment or is a negative outstanding, you need to create as an ARCN. Same for creditor, is positive, then you put it as a AP invoice. If a negative figure, then you put it as a APCN. Alright. This is for your debtor and creditor opening. So another thing is for your stock opening, right? You need to key in under stock item open balance maintenance. But first, this one you need to create all the stock first, so you can see you create the 1st of December, then you just key in the quantity and the costing. So for this, you will post it into your stock balance report. All right. So this is for your opening. And so far, any question? Okay, if no, right? The next thing we'll need to show you how to do the payment. So for payment, we have two types. One is a Cashbook, and another is a payment for debtor and creditor. Okay. So we will go for the pay Cashbook first. Right, Cashbook, you normally you need to create a payment for, let's say, it's not related to your debtor and creditor. Is let's say you receive the render fee, or you pay for the electric bill or any other expenses, you can create under Cashbook entry. So as you can see, you can create receipt voucher or payment voucher. So let's say for debtor and creditor related, if you ask you to create under AR payment, refund, and deposit. Right? So for receipt voucher, you need to key in the receipt from who or which company. Let's say for I rent out the room and I receive my rental fee. I can just key in the name of the one who rent it. So it's for example, Stan. So rental fee. So the voucher number, it will run the automatic one, so you can key the date. Maybe 1st of August, you will need to see the rental fee. Then the customer or the one who pay you by bank, cash, or which account number you can key in here. Let's say if online bank in to my CMB bank, I can put it here. So for here, you can see there's a payment method and it will show you what's the bank account number. Right? Okay, so after you choose selected the payment method, the next thing you need to choose is your account number, which means if you debit to your bank, then if you credit to a account, you need to put in here. Right. So you can create render fee under your sales. Right. But so for now, I didn't create, so I can put under sales other first. Right. So maybe. Okay. So once you key in the amount here, the payment amount will be updated accordingly. You can have multiple accounts. It's not only you can have one account. So it will total up. Okay. So if you want to check the posting, you can go under edit. There's a view posting detail. If you show the summary after you've done the entry, how you're going to post to your GL code. can check whether your entry is correct or not. Okay, then save. So this is for OR. So payment voucher will be the same if I pay to the say okay. So I pay by today and I use it cash. Okay. So here I need to put in my expenses account. We will go into under water and electricity. So
放在那里，然后就可以赶快出货。OK，so 有两个问题哈，一个问题呢就是他现在选用的是 Skynet 而不是 Ninja Van 跟这一个 DHL。
Sorry. Okay, I just continue. Okay, so here you can put in the amount and say 100. Okay. Then you can see, right? So one thing when doing payment, right? If let's say let's say it's paying by check and the check for some reason you didn't bank in or any other reason it been returned, right? So you can put it here. You can take the option here and key in the return date. Let's say I'm received by 1st of August and return in the middle of the August. Then you can have a key that is. So in your bank statement, if you show out that 1st of August you receive this amount, then when come to 15th of August, then it will show there's another. So this amount will be deducted from your bank account. Okay, you can have some entry here. But once the payment being returned, right, you cannot use it to knock off any bill because for AR and AP payment you have the same option here. So from there you take its return, right? So we can't use it to knock off. Okay. So this is for your Cashbook. So you can print out or you can preview. So you have multiple formats you can choose here, half page or letter. So for the text is for GST that time you may not use it, but you can still able to choose it if you want. So here will be your OR for the half page. If you thinking that the format or anything you want to move it or change it, you may customize on the report here, right? So this is for your Cashbook. So the next thing I will go under will be the entry under your AR AP. So first thing for AR and AP, the thing you can create will be your AR invoice. So for AR invoice, it will be similar to your sales invoice, but for here, you will not involve any stock. You just need to key in the sales account and the amount, and it will automatically post to, it will debit your data and credit the sales account. This is for normally you create invoice for accounting purpose. Okay. But for one thing to just let you know, for AR or AP invoice, right, it cannot be print out. As you can see, there's no print button here. But other than that, like ARCN, ARDN, those can be print out. Okay. So AR receipt payment, you will need to use it, and if you receive any payment from your payment or your customer, or you want to use it, the deposit, you need to create under here. So let's say I show you the normal payment with same thing, you need to choose your payment method and the amount, then you can choose which invoice you're going to knock off. right? So before you create the payment, you need to make sure the invoice is there already. So you can knock off here. So for the one payment, you can knock off multiple invoice. And you can choose the date here. What's the knock date? Okay, then you can just see. So as I mentioned just now, for AR payment, you can have a return here. If I take it, then it will not for me to. So the off, once you take the return, the off part it will automatically remove for you. Okay. This is for AR payment. So AR debit note is actually same as your AR invoice. Mainly just you to, if you already issue out the invoice and you found that there's some extra charge you need to charge on or charge your customer, you can issue a debit note. So same thing, you just need to select your debtor and the credit account and also the amount. You can key in the reason why you need to issue the debit note, right? You can just see. It will prompt you for the reason, but if you want to continue to save it, you can just press yes. So debit note. Okay. So for payment, you can off invoice or debit note. Then will be your credit note. Credit note will be the opposite side of your debit note. If you only issue when you're going to give your customer discount, or you want to deduct the total outstanding for the invoice or the debt or debit note, you can create a CN. Let's say here discount 5% or 50 ringgit. Right. So if then you need to debit to account. Normally credit note we will debit to the account that you use in your invoice or your DN. So the figure will be tally. So 50. So you can see not off invoice or debit note here. Okay. It seems like the payment, just for payment, you will debit your bank account, but from here you can choose which account you're going to debit. Okay. If for now you doesn't have any invoice to debit to not off, you can just save. So after this, you can open it again and you can edit and off again. Same for payment. Right? So refund, if you have any payment that you need to refund to your customer, you can create under AR fund. Same thing, you need to choose for this refund, you're going to pay by cash, bank, or any payment method. Alright, so we will use to knock off your payment or credit note. Alright. Then the AR and AP contra we will use if you have some scenario you need to contra the invoice between your debtor and your creditor, right? You can create under here. You can choose your debtor and your creditor. So we need to key in the contra amount, right? So let's say I will just need to contra 500. So you need to make sure at the price amount for both sides, you need to use it until it becomes 0. Right? So this is the way that you no need to use a payment or credit note to knock off the bill, that you can contract between debtor and creditor. So the outstanding will be 0 for this bill. Right? Then you can see. So AR deposit, if you receive the advance payment from the customer before you issue out any bill, you may create AR deposit entry, but before that, you need to make sure you have the deposit account created, like I mentioned just now. You have customer and supplier. So this is AR deposit. By right, I should use customer deposit, and I choose my debtor. Okay, the deposit date maybe the end of this month. So how you receive the deposit? Maybe by cash or in bank together. So cash will pay you 300, and the bank in for you is maybe another 200. Total will be 1,000. Okay, then you can see. So for this debtor ABC, they have outstanding 1,000 deposit on hand. So if let's say later on you have issued out the bill, you're going to use the deposit to not right, you need to go back to the AR receipt payment, new, the same debtor. So if you prompt you there's a CM, if you're not going to use it, you can just cancel. So if you want to use the deposit, right, make sure you choose the correct one. If let's say I choose supplier deposit, you cannot be affected. It will be the same that you're using in your deposit entry. Or let's say I choose one customer deposit. If you show out all the outstanding deposit here, so you can choose to use it. Alright. But you don't need to use out the full deposit, maybe you will just take half of it. Then you can offer in one. See. So when you go back to your deposit entry, what do you mean by the project line in which entry just now? If you miss the project number here, right, it's only when you using the project module, so you can put in your project number here. So when the time if the receipt payment not of any invoice, right, if you temporarily put under the project number here, so when you check your financial report, you can from there you can filter by project number, then you can only trace out this figure. Project number can be used in most of the entry like sales invoice, purchase, or AR credit note. Those you can all of it you can use the project number. Right? But first of all, you need to make sure you have enabled the module, and you need to create the project number under your general maintenance. Okay. So when I go back to my deposit, so here is still showing 1,000, so I can refresh it to become 500. Okay. So when I go in and edit, you will show something here, deposit amount, total how many you receive, transfer amount, which means that you've been used it for regardless in not of your invoice or debit. So you can have refund and forfeit amount. To use this tool, right, you need to make sure you view it. Because if you edit it, right, it will the button will be disappear. So you need to view it, then you can have forfeit and refund. So from here, if the deposit been forfeit, you need to key in what's the forfeit date and the account number. If you post to which account number, then decision what's the reason and how many being profit. So let's say I'm remaining 500, only the 100 being profit. So I save it. Oh, because I did this in August, so here need to be after August. Right, so you can see outstanding will be 400. Let's say the 400, the customer need to ask for refund. You can help under here. And in the payment method, which is how you pay going to refund to your customer, same like you're doing AR refund. So let's say paying by cash. Okay. See. See. Yeah. So in the end, your deposit has no more any outstanding, which means they cannot be used anymore. Right. Let's say the profit and refund you need to cancel, right? You need to come back here and delete it. Okay. So in the end, your deposit will be outstanding 0. Okay. Right. So for AR, you can, here will be all the entry you can be used for AR. And your next thing will be you can have outstanding AR invoice, outstanding AR deposit, or you can try on it. Because now my deposit will increase up, so I have no more outstanding AR deposit. My outstanding invoice, you can select the date. Alright, so it will show up here. So mostly for AR module, the most common report will be going to use will be debtor aging, the first thing. So the aging date. So you can see the outstanding whether is already 1 month, 2 months, or 3-4 months. Right, this is the aging report. So for it, you can have 3 formats here: 12, 4, and 6 months. Same thing, if the report you found anything not correct or you need to change anything, you may able to customize on it. Okay. Then the next one will be debtor balance. So within the date range, what's the debtor balance and any transaction within the date range to be set. Then it's like 1st of August to 1st of August. So here you cannot trade. But for debtor balance, normally the debtor without any 0 balance, it will be high. So you want to show it up, you need to include 0 balance. And then right. So you can see here will be balance brought forward, which means the balance before the date range is set. The current 1st of August to 1st of August, the balance will be shown under here. Carry forward, which means the balance after your date that you set here. Right. So debtor balance, you will have summary and detail. Let's say detail. Yeah. You can have some report here. So for the report, you may export to Excel or PDF. Right. So the next thing will be debtor statement. So for debtor statement, you may have different type here. So the first thing will be not statement with open item, which means that it will show you the invoice. If there have any payment being involved, it will show under here. So from here you can show it, press on it. It will direct you to the document entry. Like same for payment. Let's say OR0010. Yeah. Okay. This is the format. So this is for not-off statement. If let's say you're using normal statement, right? It will show you the balance which means already sort according to your document date. And the balance will be either debit or credit. This is the normal one without any off information. If balance brought forward, then you may have the balance brought forward on here. Okay. This is the data will be the same, just the presentation for each of the format will be different. So you can try on it and see which one are the ones you the one you most prefer. Okay. So this is mostly the three common report used. The others you may try on it after this. Right? I think I will not go through one by one. Okay, if you can try on it, see whether it can be used for your company or any other means at all. Alright. So this is for AR. So far, any question before I go into your IP for AR module here? If no, just continue. So for IP, mostly will be the same. You have IP invoice, but just the posting will be different because AR invoice will debit your debtor, credit to your sales account. So for creditor, it will be opposite lah. It will be credit your creditor, then it will debit to the expenses account. Alright. So just use the other expenses. So same thing, you need to key in your purchase account and the amount. That's it. Right, this is for IP invoice. So payment, I just go through it because most of it will be the same. So if you have any unapplied amount, it will prompt you. If you're not going to use it, you can just cancel. So you have the same payment method. So using TBB to pay, let's say partial payment 200, and off the bill. Right. So then you have debit note. Debit note is the same as your invoice. You may have debit note, maybe customer, same thing. Maybe customer there's extra charges that didn't include, they forget to include in your invoice, then they will issue out your debit note for you. Okay. So nothing special here. So for all the AR and IP entry, you can have the posting detail, not only payment. As long as you're using AR IP, you have the button here. You can check the posting detail. Save. Then will be credit note. Same thing. If your supplier will go into giving you a discount, so you can see here. So if you debit your creditor and you will credit to the let's say you have a discount account, you can put it here as well. It's okay. Right. So you have refund and deposit as well. So it will be the same. So from here you can choose customer deposit, or you may have if you only have one payment method, so it doesn't matter, you want to choose the same thing. Okay. Right. So The AP deposit you can do the forfeit and refund as well. So same thing, if you want to use it, you need to create AP payment, right? So since it's the same, I will not go through it again. So for AP, the report, if you compare to AR, right? So first thing for AP, it will not have the contra entry. It will only appear on AR side, but it's the same. The result will be the same. So you may have outstanding invoice, deposit as well. Then the aging balance and statement you can have for creditor as well. Okay. So the format will be the same, but if you customize for your debtor aging report, right? The creditor, if you want to have the same format, you need to customize again because it's not sharing the same format. This one is for creditor aging. So it's a two different report. Right, so you have bank balance. So let's say I show in summary. So we just have the name and the balance without any detail. Then we do the statement. Right. So this is for AP. So far, any question? If no, and just next thing we will show you maybe the bank report and the journal. So bank report will be under GL. And reconciliation here. Right. So here it will show out all the bank account only. The cash account will not show out here, right? So if you have any bank transaction that you didn't not yet clear from the previous year, you need to highlight the correct bank account and you need to press the button here, maintain previous year. So you can just press the plus button here, then key in whether it's a debit, which means you receive, credit, which means you pay out. They ask you to key in the amount, the document number. So you have a number and the date. The date, of course, will be the last year date, end of June. So to check number, if you key in, if you have the description. So if you have more and more, you can just add in here. But of course, if you need to key in one by one, so you need to key in the document number, those things. All right. So see. Once you're done maintaining all the previous bank transaction, you can start to do your bank account. So each of the bank you can do it one by one. So press new. So if you ask you to key in your bank statement date, normally we will key in the last day of the month. So let's say I'm doing bank account for July, 31st of July. 2021. Okay. So any bank transaction that involve this account and not yet be reconciled in your bank reconciliation, it will all show out here. Okay, let's say I try another way, maybe which one I can use? Yeah, let's say for this one, it will show out what's the transaction and how many is it debit or credit or whatever, what's the document number. If you want to check it, you can double click. Right. So if to cancel it, you can just click it here. It will show you if been consumed on which month of the statement. There. Then I think you need to do it before you start to consider your transaction, you need to key in your actual bank statement, which means the closing balance that you receive from your bank statement. The bank statement from your bank provided by the bank. So you need to key in here. So as you can see, there's two columns here: account balance and system bank statement balance. The system bank statement balance will be auto updated when you doing the reconciliation. Let's say if I check all, it will be 0. Let's say if I credit to 300, it will be 300. If I debit 1000, then it will be 7. So like this. So it will depend on the transaction that you pick in your bank reconciliation. But for the account balance, right, it will capture the balance from your bank account regardless the transaction have been reconciled or not. So if every month your bank reconciliation will take all the transaction, right? So by right, the system bank statement will same as your account balance. Let's say for this month I didn't take this one, 169. So my system bank will be 700, my actual also 700, but my account balance will remain 531. Because it will calculate all the bank transactions being created in the system. Right? Normally we will just need to match the actual bank statement is same as your system bank statement, and the difference will be 0, then should be okay already. Okay. So when you refresh, you can see if it is not balanced, right, it will show it in the red color. If it's balanced, then it will show bank reconciliation balance, which means it's okay. Then you can process to the next month. Right? This is for your bank report. So you can print out or preview the report here. But only for the period that you highlighted. Let's say I'm choosing in July, and it will show the result for July. So unpresented check, which means I didn't take, and it's on deposit side. Okay. This is your bank report. So if you found anything wrong, you can delete it and redo. It's okay. Right? As long as until the end of the end, the result will be balanced, then should be okay already. Okay, so the next thing will be your journal entry. Journal entry actually will be quite straightforward. What you need to do is you need to key in your description. Maybe will be what's the reason that you're doing the journal posting. Maybe how audit adjustment. Right, so the date you may put it at the end of the month or the first of the month. That's the date, can be any date. And the account number. So you can put in all the account number that should be involved in the journal entry. Right? All the account can be used unless except of your debtor and creditor account cannot be do in the journal entry. If you want to adjust their balance, you need to do it through DN or CN. Right? So it's just simple. You need to key in debit how many, what's the figure on debit side, and what's the figure on your credit side. So in the end, in order to proceed to save your journal entry, you need to make sure the balance, the total for debit and credit need to be tally, unless you cannot be saved. Right? So for your journal, you may have more and more accounts. You can just add in and key in the individual figure for each of the account. Just in the end, the debit side and credit side is the same, then no issue. Right? This is for journal. Same for journal, you can track the posting. Okay. For the same account, you can key in for 2 lines. Maybe something like this. Then you check, when you check the posting, it will show you the summary. Okay. Let's see. This is for your journal entry. So the next thing will be the financial report. So for GL side, the most common report you will be used with the first thing, the ledger. So from here you can key in the date. Let's say I view for the whole month, the whole year. Then the ledger type I can choose whether it's only for general, sales and purchase. Sales ledger and purchase ledger, which means if you the entry that you key under here or LRP. Right? If it doesn't matter, you just look for all ledger. From here you can filter which of the account you want to check. Right? Or the control account. Okay. So if you not filter anything, the longer the date range you set, it will take some time to log it out if you have more and more transactions. Okay, so here we can see all the ledger here. Right, we may have preview and print it out. So for ledger, you will have more different presentation here as well. So let's say I choose the standard one. For this, you may print out and your auditor might ask for it, as I know. Right? And you may have journal as well. So for this, you will categorize by journal type. Right? So you will mix up of different account numbers. So for the easier, you may refer to the ledger or you prefer this. So depends. And all this you may try it. So I think the most important will be trial balance report. Okay. You may check. Normally the trial balance should be tally debit and credit side. Because now as I view for 1st of January, not tally because of my opening, I didn't settle it yet. So here will be having different. Right? So for trial balance, you can choose currency. If you're using project, you may do filtering here. No filter, which means you will total up all the project and show you out the total figure. Okay, then you can check overall trial balance or debtor balance or creditor balance. Then you have different report format can be used here by year, by month, this month, yes, last month, or project comparison. All this you can try. So from here you can decide you want to show out the account number, or do you want to show out the zero balance, or you want to show out multiple level. So debtor level and creditor level, if you're using one only, right, it will only show out the parent's account, which means the track debtor or track creditor. If you put it 2 or higher, then it will show out the debtor name and the creditor name as well. So let's try. So the higher will be 20. I'm using this, right? You can see it will show out the sub account. So which means your report will become longer. And because I show out all the zero balance, so it will show you out all the account here. Alright. So this is for trial balance. So you have any all the others option like show amount in parent account or not, or do not show balance stock account. So you can decide based on what the presentation you want. So profit and loss. So I check for July, or I check for the August. Same thing, I can choose the format here, and because P&L will not have debtor and creditor, so you cannot choose the level here. So I need to check all the details. I can put the whole side here. So you can have P&L here. Okay. So for P&L, you can, for all the financial report, you may export to PDF or Excel, but for financial report, just for your information, it cannot be customized like your invoice or debit note, those things. The financial report will be fixed the format. Right. So balance sheet statement. So same thing here, you can choose it. So you can decide whether you need to show zero balance, all those things in the format. This is your balance sheet account, balance sheet report. So there's other report you can try to run it. But the most common you will be used every month. Most of the time, will be the P&L and the balance sheet, because you need to check your account, those things. Okay. Side of that. So far, any other question for the GL stuff? If no other question, I think here will be all the things we need to cover for accounting side. So anything you can ask on here, or any things other on the system you need to ask, you may ask here. I may try my best to answer your question. You're facing any other issue, maybe it's not related to accounting or any other question, you may ask now, so I can answer you on the spot. If no, right, I think the training we can be end here.